Welcome everybody. We are now live for the again. I gotta edit this thing. We are a Boston Bruins pregame show at this point. Boston Celtics live show. I'm gonna go ahead and edit our titles. So this is Boston Bruins game 4, right?
Game 4, baby.
Big
It's
game.
a big one.
All
You know
right.
my stance. The even games are always the biggest.
The even games are the biggest. Okay. I mean,
Always the
it's.
biggest.
I feel like okay. I'm gonna go a bit counter here. I feel like the series does come into play, right? Everything's about context. This game I think is major because of the amount of quit in this Maple Leafs team. So I think, but if this game was, if it was 2-1 the other way, I think it's a big deal. But we'll see. We'll see. All I know is we got to win.
Yeah.
We got to beat these guys in the
We up
house.
and running? Looks like
We
we're
are
on
up.
Facebook. We're good there. All right.
I'm pretty
We're
sure
on
we're good
YouTube.
on YouTube. Yep.
Good to go. All right. Here we go, baby. Like I said, huge game here. It's all about the 2-game lead in hockey. It's not the NBA, right? You know, your buddy there made a good point. It's like, oh, it's not really serious till someone loses a home game. That's more leaned towards NBA. NBA teams usually hold, home court. They usually go back and forth. It's different in hockey. Hockey, it's all about getting a 2-game lead. It's not that a 2-game lead is not insurmountable. It happens in hockey, but you just want to be in that position. You want to be up 2 games. This is a huge, again, if we win, we're in complete control of the series. It's practically over. We go back to Boston. They have to win 3 in a row, 2 in Boston. It's just not likely to happen. You lose this damn game, forget it. We're back to freaking square one again. Might as well start the series over. So, and momentum's on their side. It's
all right.
Always the even games, baby.
Okay, so here we go. Now, the one of the best parts about the Bruins is that every pregame show is so much more than the Celtics. Because right now, the Celtics, again, should be status quo. Bruins, every game, there's breaking news. So, Dad, do you want me to run with the breaking news we have, as around
I don't know what it is.
Okay, all right. So, number one.
I've been watching the Celtics. Go for it. What is it?
Number one, Nylander is back for the Leafs. He's preparing to play. That is their second highest points player right behind Austin Matthews. He's no joke. So we got Nylander back in the lineup. Now, this is breaking news from my buddy Andrew. Something pancake on YouTube whenever he's talking in our live chat. Swayman is in the net. And that is, I think,
what?
So
that
major.
Is huge.
Yes. So Swayman is going to be in the net. Huge mental game for both teams. The legendary pancake. Andrew Bailey broke that news to me just before I got on the podcast. So, Dad, what are your initial reaction to that? Swayman in the net.
That is enormous breaking news. I love it just because, he's had his number. Like everyone knows, Swayman has had Toronto's number. That's huge. And it's not, again, Allmark did his job. He did his job in game 2. But the numbers, you can't ignore the numbers, right? And, of course, Montgomery will get second guess here if it doesn't work. But the numbers, he's in their head, Toronto. Knock on wood. Hopefully he stays in their head. He just has, he just has it against them. I love this move. Put Swayman in. And then it's all about, you nail this game, you nail the series. I know, get it. I know teams have come back from 3-1, but it's rare. It's hard to do. And it's not going to happen. And let me tell you, Matt, this is why it's so huge we win this game and hopefully game 5. Because the other series, they're either ending in sweeps or 5 games. So everyone that is going to the second round in the conference, in the Eastern Conference, is going to be rested, less games, less wear and tear on the body. We want to be in the same boat. We want to finish this series off in 5 games. So I love the move going with Swayman. And, hopefully it works out. And, they get by Toronto. You want to go back to the flip-flop of the goalie, that's fine. But when it comes to Toronto, he just has them. Swayman is the man against them.
That is major, right? And, I think, like you said, this is nothing about like, hey, we can never go back to Olmark, right? This is a feel for the game. And I think that's what coaches have to have. And Montgomery said, and I think one of his press conferences, that Swayman is in the Leafs' heads, and they got to hear that. So, this is the other part of that news that I broke. Nylander being back, the bottom six now is immediately better for the Leafs. They have more skill in that bottom six. Nylander brings more points than almost our entire bottom six combined. The guy almost had 100 points this season. So that's going to be big. So we got to be able to shut that guy down. I don't know how, is that a desperation move? We won't really know until we see him on the ice, see how much time on ice he has. But that was, that's some big stuff. My buddy Andrew, with the extra day between games, it's most likely solidified it. Having Swayman, he's right. The extra rest that might have accounted for that. And then Swayman is hungry too. He wants all the games, per quote. Swayman loves Olmark, but he wants them all. That's a quote from my buddy Andrew. Got that from somewhere. So yeah, we also got some guys on Facebook. We got Zach. What's up, Zach? If the Celtics lose, we're done. Luckily, Zach, we are up almost 30 on them with 8 minutes to go, so we should be good there. And then we got Drew Gordish. I'm not going to do it again, Drew. I'm sorry. Anything can happen.
Not Goldfish?
Yeah, no, not Goldfish. Anything can happen. The series is not over. And Drew, you're right. Honestly, I was so low, Dad, when we were down in that third game, and then all of a sudden we just blew the doors off them. So how are you feeling? Were you confident in that game, or did you get confidence after we got the lead? Like, where were your emotions there in the series?
Before I touch on that, I don't want to forget this. The Nylander thing is a big deal because Austin Matthews line, it has carried the Leafs. The drop off between line 2, 3, and 4 for the Leafs has been significant as far as shots on goals, scoring chances. So Nylander is no joke. He's unfortunately going to level up one of those other lines. So I feel even more comfortable having Swayman in there. I like that. So, but hopefully Nylander's a little out of shape, he's a little rusty, something like that. And, we still have to only really contend with that one Austin Matthews line, knock on wood. But, yeah. The last game, it's hockey, right? So you go down 1-0, you never panic, right? Unless it's like midway through the third period and finally you're down 1-0. It's just, they're not a great team at home, Toronto. They press. They feel a lot of pressure from their fan base. They haven't won a cup in forever. And that's all they hear about is that they're chokers. So when they're at home, they're taking a lot of unnecessary chances. They're trying to, impress the crowd and all that. So it's just, I didn't panic at all when they got off to a 1-0 lead. And I felt good about the whole game. I felt their defense for the Bruins was much better, getting out of the zone, less turnovers. You're never going to create, a situation where there's no turnover. You don't turn the puck over coming out of your zone. But every time the Bruins minimize that, they win in the playoffs because that is their number one Achilles heel. So, I'm telling you, if we can get an early lead, Toronto is going to feel it. They're going to start crapping their pants. They're going to start pressing. And that's a big deal. Hopefully, we get the momentum out of the gate. So we'll have to see. I don't know. They're going to come out flying, probably, Toronto. We might have to withstand the surge at first. So hopefully Swayman's up for it in the defense.
Couple big points. My buddy Andrew said that Nylander has been dealing with migraine issues. So obviously that's some sort of a concussion situation. He actually played all 82 games for them this season. He's an Iron Man. He's like the, Derek White of the Leafs. And also he mentioned Nylander is big for the Leafs power play. I totally forgot about that. The Leafs were blanked, I think, on the power play. They had 5 chances in that last game. There was a lot of complaints about how the way that game was reffed, but they got their fair chances. And, at that point, we was just, power play was really just 2 more minutes of no scoring for them. And it's really interesting. And I think Nylander coming into the fold is going to be super, super tough. So hopefully we can find a way to manage that. I don't think he did anything against us in the regular season. I'll have to double check, but I don't recall him having a single point. So I'm going to check on that, Dad. Here in a second.
I'm sure he did. You might want to rerun that, but yeah, that's not easy to do. Holding Toronto to 0 for 5 on the power play. So kudos there to the Bruins. I told you they played much better last game. It was great, and even Tampa's goals. Not Tampa. God, I got the other game. I want to make a point about that game. But anyway, even Toronto's goal was like, there was no chance. It was a really nice tip. And the other one, Swayman had no chance. So I like that. Make it so it's like, if they're going to score, they're going to earn it. And it's going to be like a beautiful, hard play. And, we're on the road. We don't need to get cute. Exactly. So no penalties. Keep the damn penalties and turnovers down. No penalties, no turnovers. That's the key. And they're going to be done for Marchand.
Yeah, I just checked. Nylander had only two points in 4 games against us. None of them were on the power play, and both points were assists. So, yeah, I mean,
all right. So he's not a force against us. That's good.
Yeah, he doesn't have our number. There's been guys in the past that have been Bruins or Celtics killers or Patriot killers, right? And so Nylander, all respect to him. Of course, we've given him his flowers. This, how nervous we are to play against him.
Difference maker.
But he's not a Bruins killer. So yeah, I mean, Dad, game time's almost here. What is your prediction for this game?
All right, I liked this one. I like our Bruins. I think again it's going to be a higher scoring game. I'd say 5-3 Bruins.
Okay, 5-3 Bruins, and at that point you're just saying Swayman's giving up 3 goals against this team, so that's going to be interesting. I think this is going to be a 2-0 Bruins win. I think the Bruins blank them.
What?
I think Swayman in a rhythm, playing again. I think it gets in their head. I think Nylander trying to force his way back into the meld of this. I think there's been enough time, like you said. Maybe there's a shape issue. Maybe there's some things that they've tried to modify to shore up some of their problems. We'll see. My buddy Andrew is predicting a pasta hat trick. I don't know if that's your actual prediction, Andrew, but if it is, I would go put $1 on that because I think you could win like $100-something bucks. So that is not very likely a pasta hat trick. What is your?
I'd take it though. That's for sure. I would take that any day of the week.
I think if Pasta's getting a hat trick in this playoffs, it's against the Leafs. So if he's going to do it,
he's just a focal point of the other team constantly. If you notice, he has trouble finding space because the other team is just so hyper focused on him. But hey, he's a sniper. That's their job. It's everyone else's job to step up. So let's hope that young third line, they stay on fire, flying around all over the place, making an impact like last one. Yep. And, that way we don't have to rely on just Pasta, and hopefully Marchand doesn't look like he's drunk for the first 2 periods like he did last game. So
I should have went over this. Oh, man, there's been some changes. So DeBrusk, Zacha, and Pastrnak are now the first line. Marchand, Coyle, and Geeky.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay. Marchand, Coyle, Geeky are staying. I think they've been there. Then you have JVR, Frederick, and Heinen. So Heinen has been demoted off of the Zacha Pastrnak line.
Oh, I've been asking for that. Thank goodness, finally.
Frederick is now between the 2 old, slow guys in Heinen and JVR. And now Beecher, Boqvist, and Maroon. Man, they really are trying to shove Maroon down our throats. And, no offense to Pat Maroon, even our cousin Ant. Cousin Ant was in the comments. He's been listening. Super appreciate you listening to Cousin Ant. He was like, the Pat Maroon experiment might need to be modified a little bit. And, he agreed with your take, Dad. So, and he also mentioned Barzal is actually ruled out for this series. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's a bummer. I'd love to see him back. Yeah.
Appreciate Anthony giving us some of that insight. And then realistically, my buddy Andrew says Bruins 3-1 with an empty netter. Okay. That's what I was thinking. 2-0 with an empty netter. They've been changing lines a lot dynamically in game. The lines they give don't mean much right now, Andrew believes. So yeah. Big game.
All right.
Let's get to Boston. Let's get Bruins, Celtics 2-0 for the day. Come on, we won.
Let's go. Come on.
Jackson, come here. Can I get a let's go? Come here in front of the camera. Go. So let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, let's get 2.
Attaboy. Here's Jack Attack. Time to go piss off the neighbors. All right, everyone. See you after the game.
Let's get it.